Okay, so we went through the components of the consumer devices ecosystem, and I hope you are now aware of the names, so you're familiar with these names. Otherwise, please go to the glossary. So this is by the end of the presentation, so we have this glossary as well. And then you can, so finally now we can go to the procedures. And take a look on this, how it looks like in the real world, or from the idea, the real world. Okay, let's go first through the names of the procedures and what they do. Okay, the local profile management in general. So local stands for that. So the meaning is that the end user decides what to do. So it's the end user's choice. We have the add profile procedure, basically the profile download procedure. Add profile because you add the profiles to the existing on the EUSSC. Then we have the enable profile. So choosing a profile to connect, so activating the profile after the download. Then we have the disable profile procedure. This connects existing profile if not forbidden by the policy. Again, so the profiles are governed by the policies. Delete profile. Deletes available profile if it's not forbidden by the policy. List profiles. This is showing all operational profiles if not in a test mode. So we have the test mode inside of the device. If the device is in that test mode, it will show the test profiles. We have the set and edit nickname function. So this is optional. So allows to change operator's profile nickname. Okay, this is the set of the local profile management procedures. For the local EUSSC management, we have also the functionality to retrieve the EID, EUSSC ID. During this process, the EUSSC ID will be made available for the end user by the LUI, the memory reset. Similar to master delete, so but only similar, not the same. So actually it deletes all operational profiles and they associated metadata stored on the EUSSC regardless their status. So you can just reset. So all of the operational profiles will be deleted by the regular memory reset, but not the test profiles. Test profiles, as you remember, so they were used for the testing purposes to connect to the network simulators. Yes, and when the device is in the test mode, so you can perform the test memory reset, and this deletes all of the field loaded and not preloaded test profiles and the associated profile metadata stored on the EUSSC, also regardless of the status. The default SMDP plus address. Sometimes you can have the device with a SMDP plus address being introduced by default inside, or inserted by the default into the device. So this simplifies the profile download process. This address can be added or set. It's not done before. Okay, we have further procedures, the device and EUSSC initialization procedures. Actually, initialization procedure is known from the ETSI specifications, the ETSI TS 102.221. Yes, and during this process, the EUSSC shall indicate its support of EUSSC functionality in the global interface byte at the ATR. Okay, so this is not visible to the end user, not officially, or not on the user interface, I meant. The RSP device capabilities. So actually, you can see, so this can be made visible, not to the end user, but to the EUSSC. The EUSSC shall request the device to send the terminal capability command by setting the related bit in the file control parameters of the master file. Okay, this is already a bit too detailed for the basic training, so but actually from the EUSSC architecture, similar to the USSC, when we have the profile, so then we have also kind of, so yes, a master file similar to what we have in the EUSSC, or on the regular UICC, sorry. And yes, similar commands as general capability commands can be used, and then we have this specific bit in the file control parameters to be set. Then you can see the device capabilities. The EUSSC file structure. Okay, actually, when the EUSSC arrives from the IDE, it can be completely empty. So before downloading the profile. So there are only 2 files defined. So the elementary files be there. So for the basic purposes. Yes, in the practice, sometimes a little bit more of the basic files are inserted. Otherwise, some devices does not start with so the communication with such EUSSC. Yes, and if there is no enabled profile on the EUSSC, the EUSSC shall ensure that the default file system, or at least an MF, is available for the device. As I said, currently it contains 2 files. Yes, one of the specific procedures is the device power-on profile discovery procedure. So it's a part of the device setup, and it's specific to the device manufacturer. So specific means shall exist for the end user to retrieve pending profiles. Sometimes it can be the case that you receive the device, and this device is so first of all, so this empty, yes, but there is a profile discovery procedure implemented, which starts, for example, during this first boot up, and so the device is starting to look if there are some specific profiles pending to be downloaded. Another procedure, or part of the procedures, are the notifications. Okay, so we always need notifications to show to the entities, to the SMDP Plus specifically, the information about the status of the EUSSC. Okay, so notifications are reports to a remote entity with a specified by the recipient address that the profile management operations was successfully performed on the EUSSC. For example, we always have specific types. So there are 2 types of notifications: profile installation results and other notifications. So it's name other notifications. Oh, sorry. Yes, and the profile installation results goes, so it's always by the end of the profile download command. So it will be informed so that the installation was performed successfully. And then there is a way so specified in the metadata or specific data of the profile. Yes, there is a way to indicate to the other servers, so identified by the address, so that some specific procedures will perform, for example, the enablement of the profile. Okay, then on the SMDS side, we have the event registration procedure going so between the operator, the SMDP Plus, then eventually alternative SMDS, and the root SMDS. So meaning the operator registers some events on the SMDS finally. And then the device can contact the SMDS and ask, hey, do I have are there any pending events for me? Then there is the retrieval process between the SMDS, LPD, and the EUSSC. Actually, they're coming from the EUSSC and LPD. So they retrieve this event from the SMDS. And then the event deletion. Okay, it's not needed anymore, this event. So the SMDP Plus and SMDS has a communication to delete the event. Now we went through the big topic of the components. So we took a look on these different components from the consumer device ecosystem, and we talked about the procedures. Let's see how this can work more detailed, so with the sequences. Okay, first step on how it works, so the basic phase actually, or the basic implementation, so existing from the phase 1. So consumer devices specifications are, so they are currently, so the phase 3 started, so the version 3 started already since a while ago. And so from the very first phase, when it was already only the first implementation of the EUSSC concept, the remote SIM provisioning, so this concept already exists. Okay, we have the operator and the end user. First step is that the end user registers by the operator, so still you have to register. So who you are, so I'll give you some personal data. And then the operator gives you some activation code. It can be a QR code or whatever, so some manually data to type in. And this is provided to the end user. The end user uses its device. So if you are lucky, then you have actually, if you have a primary device with the LPA on it, so then it's already good enough. So, but most of the use cases, or the first use cases, came with a wearable smartwatch. So therefore, the smartwatch used the primary device was used to scan the profile code, so the QR code or activation code. And then this activation code containing if it's not there by default, so containing the SMDP plus address, so to connect, was transmitted to the smartwatch. Okay, and then after the activation or enabling, so then it can be operated, so the phone calls can be used. Meaning in terms of technology and components, so the first step was to the end user, visible. If we have, so the components, take a look on the components involved. We have the operator, the SMDP plus, and we have the connection using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, whatever. You can even use the internet. Then we have the device with the EUSSC and the end user on the other side. Again, so similar to the M2M world, we have the download order from the operator. So yes, first of all, the end user contacts the operator. So, but this is out of scope of the profile download procedure. So then the download order sent from the operator to the SMDP plus. The ICC ID, the profile ID, as you remember, is delivered to the operator. So the end user receives the activation code, or ask for the activation code. Then there is an initialization step on the ES9 plus. This is a very high level. So between the SMDP plus and the device with the EUSSC, there is again a key set establishment. So on the ES9 plus interface. Okay, here you can see the SCP11A protocols. Use the execute channel protocol 11A defined by global platform again, similar to the M2M specifications. Sorry, but in M2M specifications we did use this SCP protocol, execute channel protocol. Okay, so for the key establishment, the execute channel protocol 11A is used. Then the next step is the profile download, and basically we have the HTTPS connection. So it's a connection between the device and the SMDP plus is secured using HTTPS. And then after the key establishment, according to the to the SCP11A protocol, so we have the specific cryptographic keys, symmetric keys, and we can use the SCP03T protocol. So here we have only the SCP03T defined by global platform. And yes, then the profile can be encrypted and the profile download can be performed. That's it. Okay, since we had this example with a smartwatch is a companion device. Taking a look on the architecture, so what is defined? Companion device has an integrated EUSSC and LPA, is connected to a primary device to use specific functionality or to establish connections. Cannot provide by itself. For example, we had this QR code scanner. And optional connections functions. So connection to the SMDS or SMDP plus using Wi-Fi. So this can be done as well. So it depends actually which functionality is required. But so in terms of the GSMA, it is considered that this is the companion device which contains the LPA. Yes, it may use also the primary, so the user interface to allow interactions with the end user. Let's talk about the features unique for consumer devices solutions. Now I talked a lot about the similarities between the M2M and the consumer devices world, because then it's easier to understand. So the M2M architecture, so for the first glimpses, so since it was in the beginning, so it's simpler to understand. And then the consumer devices was the subsequent, so historically, so it was later on. But there are some features actually defined in the consumer devices specifications which were found quite useful, and they were also then later on implemented in the M2M world. Okay, unique features. In the consumer device solution, the end user manages his own device and its profiles. The consumer devices solution has the LPA in the device that assists with the profile download and secures the end user interface on the device that is used for local control. Okay, the LPA, different, there is no SMSR. All profile downloads use IP protocols and, where applicable, use the greater capacity of the device TCP/IP stack to reduce communication overhead. As messages cannot be pushed to the device in the EUSSC, there is a discovery service. The devices can check from anywhere at any time in order to see if there are any profiles or management operations waiting to be downloaded from the SMDP+. So, do you remember? Discovery service. Sometimes on the first boot up, we are checking for the profiles, waiting for the download. Okay, this is unique for the consumer devices solution. Let's summarize and test your knowledge. I have some questions for you. What are the components of the consumer device ecosystems? Please try to remember all of the components. What are the new entities? Name their functions. What are the new interfaces? What are the local profile management procedures? This is an easy one. What is specific for the consumer devices solutions? Actually, I hope that after this, this part of the training, so you can answer this question, so it's not complicated or difficult to you. So I hope you enjoyed this first part of the third part of the training. So please take your time with the questions. Yes, I would suggest so you have a short break for yourself to keep just to remember to go through. If you have some questions, to take a look back. So take a look on the handouts and to repeat some features, because in the next step we'll go to the roles and the security aspects. Have a short break. Bye.